Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you guys all had a lovely weekend. Hope you've had a good start to the week. Sorry I didn't make it to you with a video on Monday. It was Labor Day. I forgot what I was doing that day, but some reason didn't get around to a video. But today I got a little bit, a couple or three topics for you. So today we're going to talk about the social aspect of a raw food diet, cravings, and getting to fully raw, if that's what you want. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate if you go down and hit that subscribe button and then click on the little bell and check send notifications, so it'll keep you subscribed to the channel and you can come out back and check out some more content. We're having an overcast day here in South Alabama, but it feels nice outside. I think our high today is about 82 or 83, which is kind of low for this early in September. We're generally in full-on summer until about mid-October, but hey, I'll take it. We've actually got a couple of nights in the mid-60s this week. But all right, so the social aspect of a raw food diet. I still have people that write to me about this. Obviously, they probably haven't consumed a lot of my content because I'm probably the least qualified to talk about the social aspect of this lifestyle. But basically, what everything boils down to with this diet and so many things in life, everything in life is basically problem solving. Just problem solving. Whenever you have any difficulty, just instead of thinking good or bad or getting emotional about it, just go logical, go towards problem solving. So, I have not dealt, for the 9 years that I've been vegan, very high raw. I've been even more of a loner than I was in my previous life. So I've lived in some roommate situations, but other than that, I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't have a family to interact with for mealtime. So even when I had roommates, it was like, I don't know how to put it other than we were just roommates. Even though we were friends, we got along. Mealtime wasn't anything, even some of the roommates I've had, even if we ate the same way, we had different schedules, and we're adults, so we're doing our own thing. But so I've never really had to deal with the social aspect of this. I don't have to go to family parties and whatever. Actually, I did go to a family reunion about a month ago, and good case in point. Went to this family reunion about a month ago. Now for me, and I've always been like this, even back in the day when I ate crazy amounts of meat, when I drank, when I did whatever. In the past, and even now, when I go to a social gathering or when there's any sort of social aspect of going out to be with other people, for me, it's about the socializing part of it. It's about the people. It has nothing to do with the food. And I'm probably not going to do well around people, and I just definitely don't understand people why, if you're socializing, and I draw this kind of stuff from other people because, lack of dealing with it myself, but like people that go to a family function and it's like people are upset because they eat differently. I don't get that. Why do we need to, like, in other words, we get together for a social situation. We're there to interact. We eat food every day. The food is incidental. The food's on the side. So I don't understand why it comes along with that. And maybe you could flip that on people sometime. If you're having problems in a social situation, flip it. Ask the person, why is it such a problem for you? We're having a good time here. Why is it such a problem that I'm eating what I eat and you eat what you eat? And a lot of times too, it's tradition. I don't give three shits about tradition, to be honest with you. My mother, we didn't come from one of those families where we had the long guarded family recipes, but my mom had some recipe books and whatever, and she was never like, my mom was a good cook, but she didn't make a big deal out of cooking. Like, I don't remember things like, oh my God, my mom makes the best such and such in town. I didn't keep a single one of her recipe books because I don't eat any of that kind of food, and I don't need that just because my mother or my grandmother or certain generations ate certain things. Generations before us did things that were dangerous. Generations before us did a lot of things that we've proven that we don't need to do. Anyhow, what I'm getting at is I just don't need that for socializing, and I don't see why you do either. I don't know why for us to interact with each other, have a good time with each other, like I have to eat something that I don't want to eat, or I have to, sit around and put up with a lot of BS from people. Now, as far as how to handle it and how to, because now let me say this too. I realize not a lot of people are going to think like me, be kind of really out there like me, be kind of almost antisocial like me. So, when you go to any sort of social situation, it's all about being prepared. If you're going to be going to a restaurant, call the restaurant ahead or go online and see what the menu is. Ask about ingredients. I would recommend this because I'm not all that sympathetic for people that go to restaurants that are not vegan and they order stuff and then they get all upset because there was animal products in it. I don't trust restaurants a whole lot unless you know it's a very simple menu item. I'd be very careful with it. But if you're going to a restaurant, like I say, call, or even maybe you can call ahead of time if you're polite about it. A lot of times a restaurant will be happy to accommodate you if you're just very, you call them, ask them ahead of time, like, hey, I'm coming in with a group. I happen to be vegan, plant-based. What could I order off the menu, or what could you do for me? Just be nice to people. They'll do it for you. If you're going to some sort of, holidays will be here before we know them, a holiday gathering, picnics, outside things, take some fruit with you. Fruit's always great. I can eat fruit anytime. Take some fruit with you. This is the time to take some of your dishes with you. Maybe make an impression on other people. You don't have to go to your gathering and preach to people about the vegan way. In fact, more vegans are doing harm to the vegan movement just by the way they present themselves to other people. You ain't got to go there and preach. Take some good vegan food. Take a couple of good vegan dishes and share with other people. But it is what it is, do not, I'm sorry, but if you're getting tripped up on this lifestyle because of the social aspect of it, you're a weak person. I'm just going to say that straight out. Now, as for the cravings, once again, it's a mind thing to a large extent. I mean, it's not, most cravings, I think back to when I ate before I came to a vegan lifestyle, and I would have cravings that I still, even though I didn't eat like I do now, I still had parameters, and I don't need to eat this, I don't want to gain weight or whatever reason. So I struggled too, and I can kind of understand it. Now it's a totally different mentality. It's like I can kind of beat a lot of that stuff, and I've been able to kind of sidestep that stuff since I became vegan, simply because I'm very robotic in my thinking about it. Eating is not for entertainment for me. Eating is entertainment. I would say in Western society, I'm not, probably in poorer countries and developing countries, but in Western society, eating is for probably 95% of the population is for entertainment. What do I feel like? What do I have a taste for? This or that. And that's why people can't get rid of their cravings because, well, number one, they're not feeding their body the nutrition it needs. Cravings arise, I think the body's bored when it starts just spitting cravings out there. If your body is satisfied, calorically by eating enough, and if your body's satisfied nutritionally by getting the right things into your body on a regular basis, those cravings just aren't going to happen as much. Now, yes, we are going to have specific cravings. Everybody has a specific craving from time to time. I don't have super specific cravings. My cravings tend to fall within 3 parameters: sweet, savory, and salty. I kind of, because I say salty and savory because I can have savory that I don't have salty. And sweet is generally not a problem. I mean, I don't really, I throw that in because I think some people probably have sweet cravings, but it's very hard for me to have a sweet craving with as much fruit as I eat. And if I have a sweet craving that's not just eating a piece of fruit or eating a mixed bowl of fruit, ice cream, ice cream. I just had ice cream a little while ago. I mean, how can you listen, let's get the sweet part out of the way. On this lifestyle, got no excuse to eat bad stuff because of a sweet craving. You've got fruit, you've got dates, you've got ice cream. No reason to eat garbage for sweets type stuff. For savory, try to find recipes that approximate the things that you're having these cravings for. If there's certain types of, say, salad dressings that you used to like that are not healthy salad dressings, try to find a replacement for that. Try to find a raw vegan version for the salad dressing, or try to take a recipe and veganize it and make it raw. There's a lot of recipes out there, and I know a lot of people just simply do that. I think Melissa told me one time she just enjoys going through like food and finding things that she's interested in, like that she likes, and like she figures out how to make a vegan version of that. So there's things out there. We've got all kind of stuff if you just do a little research looking around. There's vegan tacos, there's vegan lasagna, and there's raw vegan tacos, there's raw vegan lasagna, and there's healthy versions of all this stuff. That's why I'm always saying, be a little selective in your recipes instead of just like mindlessly asking everybody for a recipe for every piece of food you see. Have that mentality, like, okay, these are the kind of these are my stumbling blocks. Problem solving. Once again, these are this is the type craving that tends to pop up for me. So get out ahead of that craving. Go and be proactive and find some recipes, or come up with some ideas of things you can eat when you have this kind of a craving. The same with the salty. I don't really have a thing for the salty. I mean, from time to time, I use a little Himalayan salt from time to time in recipes. I just don't get the real salty cravings anymore. But there's a number of things you can do. You can make kale chips. There's a number of little snacks you can make that will approximate that salty. Celery's a good way. You could make if you've got a dehydrator, you can make celery salt. Celery salt's a great alternative, just the regular table salt. But whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there, not being not having that salty thing, but have those ideas, have those things already in place, have your plan already in place. When you get just a random craving and you're just gobsmacked by it, and you're just kind of like, okay, what do I do? What do I have in the house? You're most likely, especially if you're a beginner to this lifestyle, you're probably already defeated. Have that stuff available. Have stuff around the house, have substitutes around the house, and have substitutes always around that are handily, that you can put your hands on and eat right now without a lot of preparation. And getting to fully raw, I've talked about that I don't know how many times. It's just about having a plan along the way. Like I say, just a systematic plan. I've talked about it over and over and over, just by month, week by week, whatever works best for you. First month you're raw till lunch. Second month you're raw till dinner. Third month you're completely raw, or not. I'm just saying how to, if you're going that way. But I love progressions. Anything in life, I've found that it's really easy to just break it down into progressions like that. You do that month on raw till noon, gets you a little stronger. If you need to, stretch it out over 5 months. But as you're getting to fully raw, learn these things. Learn how to feed your body, because the sooner you learn how to give your body the nutrition it needs, the sooner you're not going to struggle on this lifestyle. The sooner you're just going to be like, oh, this is just what I do now. And when getting to fully raw, like I say, I think, and I'll finish with this one last point. When you're going from that step of very high, if you want to go from that step of very high raw to fully raw, the last step of cooked food that I recommend is just adding a little bit of cooked food to your raw food. Kind of like what I do here, even though I'm not trying to be fully raw all the time. You've seen me on here, put potatoes on my salad. I like that a lot. if you've still got that little, you need that little bit of if you still need cooked food, or you still want cooked food, or you're trying to get, you're trying to get that one last little bit before you get to fully raw, put some potatoes on your salad, or put some other cooked food on your salad, or have some cooked food on the side of your salad. Why do I keep saying with your salad? Because it's still a mostly raw meal, and you're weaning yourself little by little off that cooked. But a lot of times going fully raw, it's just a psychological thing. Anything, you have this little fear in your head, like, oh, I'm never going to eat cooked again, or I'm going to miss cooked. And I'll absolutely finish with that. Even if you go fully raw, don't have that mentality. Don't ever put that in your head of, I'm never going to eat cooked again, because that builds up just so much. It's kind of intimidating for some people. Even if you don't plan on eating cooked again, don't think it. Just be like, I'm going to eat raw. I'm going to eat raw today. I'm going to do the best I can today. And I'm going to focus on nutrition above being raw, because feeding your body. There's a lot of people out there that are eating cooked food that are much more nutritious than people that are fully raw. Now, that's not to say that somebody that's fully raw, i.e. Melissa and Nate, Chris Kendall, and a number of other people, that's not to say you can't be fully raw and get everything you need. But those people are doing, like I said, they're not just focused on being raw, they're focused on being fully raw, but they're also very focused on getting the nutrition they need to keep them there. So anyhow, this one went a little long today. Hope I didn't ramble too much for you. If you like this one, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you here again before the week's over. Peace.